Luke here, back with another match preview. It's Bromley away. It's gonna be a good fixture, I think, because I think we're at a turning point now. It's at Hayes Lane. It's a 5,000 capacity stadium with about 1,500 seats, so majority standing, which is something we're getting used to now. It's about a 3-hour drive, 150 miles down south. So yeah,
it's a fair distance for Notts fans to travel. So looking at both sides, we'll start with Notts. Notts currently sitting 13th place, 3 points off the playoffs, and with our goal difference, you never know. Results go our way, we could be in the playoffs. It's a very big if, but if they did, Notts could find themselves in 7th place.
Yep.
So Notts have 1 loss in 8 currently. It sounds a really good run of form, but I think there's 4 draws in there. But like we've said, we could easily have turned those draws into wins. And obviously coming off the back of that great result at home to Halifax, positive vibes are going to be in the changing room, aren't they?
Yeah, I think we're at the point now as well where it's turning into that. I think we're going to start turning those draws into wins.
Yeah, hopefully. Now, this could potentially, we've said it a lot, be the trickiest game of the season. Bromley, 11 games in, I believe, and they are unbeaten, no defeats. They drew their last game away at Eastleigh, which, again, if you're just trying to keep that run of no defeats ticking over, a draw away and a win at home, that's perfect for them, isn't it? So they're unbeaten in 2nd place. They do score a fair few, but they also do concede a few, and they've needed a few last-minute goals to try and get them out of sticky situations, like a 96th-minute equaliser at Dagenham.
Yeah. On to players to watch out for them. Tom, you want to go?
Yeah, should we go straight into it? So we usually start from the back. So Luke Coulson, he can play either full-back or right or left midfielder. I'm not too sure where he's been playing at the moment in this season, but I've seen quite a few of the Bromley fans saying that he's definitely one to watch for them, and he's been having a really good season. Yep. So he's featured in every game so far. Not the full 90 minutes, but that's to be expected of someone that plays out wide, as we've seen with players like Enzo and Kelly Evans, and people that have been chopping and changing. And he does know where the goal is. So he's already got 1 this season. I think he had 6 last season, 5 the season before. So he could be a danger man. And he obviously started his career at Man City's academy, so there's talent there, and that could be why he's one of their key players.
Yeah. Onto attacking threat. We've got Michael Cheek. Now he's had 5 goals in 10 appearances, which is decent at the moment. It's higher than any Notts goal scorer at the moment. He's had double-figure goals for the last 6 seasons in the conference, which is pretty good going. So he's a proven player at this level, and he knows where the goal is again.
Yeah, like you were saying, 5 goals for Michael Cheek, and exactly mirroring him, 5 goals for Rico Hackett-Fairchild. So they've got 2 players on 5 goals. He's doing really well this season, 21 years old, so he's got time to grow into an even better player. Now, he's had experience in the Football League with Charlton, I believe, over 20 games. So if he's 21 now and he's had already over 20, I think it's 24 games with Charlton, then he's a player, isn't he? And 5 goals already at 21 years of age in a very physical league. I think he's going to be another player we've got to watch out for.
Absolutely. Moving on to Notts now, there's plenty of team news. There seems to be a bit of a spate of injuries at the moment, doesn't there? And niggles in the side. Yeah. Now, I was out last night and I got the message off Tom saying Sam Graham's out for the season. Now, I couldn't believe that. I think he, as the team are at the moment at a turning point, I feel like he was at a turning point as he had a bit of a shaky start, didn't he? And against Halifax, he put in a great performance, I thought. So I'm really gutted to see that he's gone back to Sheffield. I'm not entirely sure what the injury is.
Ruptured Achilles.
That's the one.
Yeah.
But yeah, that it's a tough one to take, I think.
And I saw with Ardley was saying today in his Bromley interview that the injury was that bad. I think they had to cut training short, get the ambulance, and he was on morphine on the training pitch. So obviously we'd love to see him again at some point. I don't know, but it's all about the recovery now for Sam Graham, and you hope that comes pretty soon.
Yeah, I'd like to see him at the Lane again next season, maybe.
Yeah,
fingers crossed.
Couple more injuries to note of Ardley. So he said that Tyson, Shields, and Kelly Evans are progressing well back from their injuries, which is good to hear, especially Shields, because we haven't seen any of him, or very, very little.
Yep.
And he said they're probably not going to be ready for this weekend, which is a bit of a blow. But
yeah,
make of that.
I don't know. I can't see really Tyson starting over either Dennis, Thomas, or Wharton. But he's a good impact sub, I think Tyson would be. Now Shields, like you say, I've not seen much of him. Kelly Evans, got Bromley, so it's not too concerning because like we've got depth in the squad now, so that's a good thing, I think. But Ben Turner as well, he went off, didn't he, against Halifax with a slight cough strain, wasn't it? I think. Now that was a big concern for me because I think he's pivotal in the defence. He's a very important player, not just for the defence, for the whole team. But I think he's making a recovery, isn't he? And I think Arlie's going to chance it, especially with losing Graham. He's not really got the options.
No, on that one, Audley said tomorrow, Friday, is key to seeing if he's fit enough. And obviously the other team news is Doyle is now suspended for, I think it's 4 games. Less said about that the better, because we've had our say on that. So it's time to see how the team plays without him, if he's a big loss, and who can step up, which I think we've got the players at the minute in this form that can step up.
Definitely.
So looking at the squad, it's been battered a little bit since the Halifax game, but we'll start off. Slocum in goal, obviously. He's been in goal every game this season, playing really well, clean sheet last time out. Defence?
I think with the back four, we've got to go Bromley, haven't we? He put in a great performance against Halifax. Turner, if he's ready. For me, we've said it a million times.
Now, this was a dilemma we had, whether to drop McCrory in at centre-half because he's been playing really well and put Bakayoko at full-back, but we've decided that actually Rawlinson could do the job perfectly and McCrory's been solid. Try and tweak that defence as little as possible after a clean sheet. I
think like Neil said in the fan chat, Rawlinson came in and he didn't look out of place. He came in, it was a high-pressure situation where 1-0 up, we've got 10 men, and he was very well composed, I thought, so I wouldn't mind seeing him at the centre back at all. I think he's a good defender.
Yeah, moving on to midfield, left mid.
Probably go Enzio, I think.
Yeah, he played better when we had 10 men at the weekend.
Yeah, he really shone. I think there was a few opportunities in the game where he could have just took an extra touch and shot. I think he's just lacking a little bit of, I don't know,
confidence.
Yeah,
confidence again for me.
Yeah, it probably is, but he scored a few nice goals this season, so you think he'd be full of confidence. But yeah, I think give him that little boost. Maybe if Doyle's out the team, he might not be scared to make a mistake. Or
yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I think you've got to put Enzio in there, haven't you, really?
Central midfield, I think Rose, he's steadily improving again after some pretty poor performances. And I think this is where Jim O'Brien drops back in to central midfield. I think we can't afford to have him playing out wide. So I think O'Brien comes in there, and I think right mid, I'd like to see Booty given an opportunity.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Now with these wingers, when we say left and right midfield, we want them to swap over.
I think it makes a massive difference. Now, doing that, it's a great tactic, I think. It confuses the defence. The men need to drop onto different players on their team. It really confuses the other team, and I think it gives you those little breaks that you need in a game.
Yeah, exactly. So strikers, Wootton has to start. I think you give him a 10 on our player ratings.
Yeah, I think looking back now, it's probably a bit over-ambitious. It was definitely at least a 9, but yeah.
Yeah, it was a solid performance. And then to start him, who would you start him with?
I'm going to say Thomas. Now, he's not the most clinical of players at the moment, but I think when he brushes up on it and he's starting to get more clinical, the goals are going to come flooding in, I think.
Yeah, I would like to see him with Dennis, just to see that Dennis and Wootton combination again, but I'll be happy with Thomas because they're forming a decent partnership.
I'd be surprised. I think Dennis might be tired. He's been in the club shop today, and he's been putting the grafting in the club shop for an hour.
Yeah, he has, so it's a lot of work for him.
Captain, who are you going for? Who do you think is going to be captain?
Please be O'Brien. Please.
Yeah, I think it's got to be O'Brien.
O'Brien.
He's got that mentality, I think, as well. So yeah, definitely,
Yeah.
I'd agree with you, O'Brien. On to predictions. What are you going to go for?
I love this kind of fixture where you're coming up against an unbeaten team, especially after 11 games, because a loss is coming at some time, and you just get that feeling it's against Notts, and I hope Notts can end their unbeaten start to the season. So I'm going 2-1 Notts, and I'm going Wootton to score, and also Jim O'Brien.
I'd agree with the scoreline. I think it's going to be a 2-1. I think Wootton will get one. I think Enzio is going to get one. I think it's going to be a tougher fixture than we think because they're pushing to get their best attendance. They're trying to get fans in from not just Bromley fans, Crystal Palace fans. They're trying to fill the stadium because it's against Notts. So I think it's going to be a tough fixture. Can't be underestimated, especially against an unbeaten team.
Yeah, exactly. So leave your score predictions and the lineup in the comment section below if you'd like to do that. It'd be great to see, and good luck to the travelling fans on Saturday.
Thanks, guys.